Hey everyone, this is Borvak. Going to do a quick review of Lois Lane, issue number 1 of 12 in this new maxi series. It says here, got a nice cover of Lois Lane reading the Daily Planet and like a Superman symbol burning into the newspaper. It actually looks kind of cool. It says here, she uncovered the most dangerous secret in the DC universe. Now she just has to prove it. She's a journalist. She can probably just make it up. I was unsure about this issue. I didn't even know this was coming out. I was just at the comic shop today picking up my pull list, and I saw this on the rack, and I was like, I'm not really into the Bendis run of Superman, but, this isn't written by Bendis. This is written by Rucka. What's the name? We'll get, I forget Mr. Rucka's first name, but we'll get to that. And so I thought, let's give it a shot. I like Lois Lane. I like Superman, even if I'm not big on Bendis' run. Let's see what he's going to do with it. The guy at checkout was really positive on it. He was kind of hyping it. But he kind of also tied it in, saying one of the things that made it good was it was tying in with the Bendis run, which, All right, let's get right into it. So we start out with Rain. What does this say? Is this the Daily Planet building? I can't tell. So it looks like there's some rain coming down. Some housekeeping lady is housekeeping, and she's trying to get Lois Lane's attention, but Lois Lane is too good for her and is just kind of, ignoring her until she finally gets done typing, and she says, oh my goodness. If you guys could see me, I'm like massaging my temples right now. I just noticed this. Let me zoom in here. Her laptop literally has a sticker on it that says "This machine kills fascists." We're gonna make it through this, guys. Together, we can do this. All right, so the housekeeper is trying to get Lois Lane's attention, says, do you want me to restock the bar? And Lois Lane says, I'm an alcoholic, apparently. That's not a part of her character I'm familiar with. She doesn't literally say she's an alcoholic, but she says, always restock the liquor. I'm sure she drinks. I don't associate her with always needing a stocked liquor cabinet, but whatever. I mean, Trump's in office, and she's a journalist, so who knows? The housekeeper makes some snide comment about apparently Lois Lane was caught on camera kissing Superman, and so now everyone thinks that she's cheating on Clark Kent or something like that. We'll get into that more later, but she's finished her story. She calls Perry White. Apparently he says something about how she's not working at the Daily Planet. What was this then? She's at the Daily, but she's still sending him stories or whatever, and he makes a comment about how she can't spell check, and she needs a copy editor in order to make her work even not full of errors. So she's got a "This machine kills fascists" sticker on her laptop. She apparently can't type, so she's already got this journalism thing going on for her, apparently. Perry White breaks the news to her that one of her, what's the word for it? Like someone who's like not on, a rival. Her rival, another female reporter who was her rival, was killed. They made it look like a suicide. She was onto something. She was following a case, and she was killed because she was looking up information on the Kremlin or something, because Russia, apparently. They mentioned Woodward and Bernstein. She's going into a parking garage. That's apparently what they did. She's meeting with some mystery guy mystery informant, and she's giving him the paperwork of the dead lady and saying, go find the rest of her information for me. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, she takes a shower with Clark and Superman, who are both the same person, and her husband. So I am okay with that. Not that she needs my approval. And in the morning, she goes out, she gets breakfast with Clark, and some guy walking by calls her a word for a loose woman. And Clark makes like the best pouty face. I actually have to show this. Like, look at that pouty Clark. This needs to be a meme. And then he starts complaining about how, well, he's not mad that they called her that. He is, but he's like more mad that they don't call Superman that because, the patriarchy, because only the woman gets called loose, whatever. So, the story's about to end. We go to, apparently the guy she was handing off the information to was the question, or as I like to say, was it the question? Because this guy to me doesn't look like the question. It's not the right hat. He's not even wearing the hat in these panels, but he's fighting these Russians because Russians, and they were the journalist that they killed had hid some information, and she told them where it was, and they killed her anyway, and they're looking for it. They couldn't find it, and the question apparently finds it in this guy's pants or something. I don't get it. But he gets the answer to the question. And this is where we skip to back to, there's a press secretary having a press conference, and the media are asking her poignant questions and being polite and taking their turns and not talking over each other. And Lois Lane, because that's totally realistic. We've got a female press secretary being questioned by a bunch of reporters about refugee issues with refugee holding centers or something like that, because that isn't timely or anything. And Lois Lane comes up, and she can apparently just say whatever she wants, and she doesn't get caught off, and she's just allowed to, keep whatever. So she's asking about all this millions of dollars that was given to what is this? Just special contracts, something for the camps that the refugees are going to or something. And she gets thrown out of the press room, and but she is validated. Look at that smug face. Look, we got smug Clark. Can we find smug Clark? No, that wasn't smug Clark. We got frowning Clark, and we've got smug Lois in the same issue. I can't find frowning Clark. There. Clark is disappointed. And Lois is just smug. Like, look at that. Like, she's smug. Her laptop apparently kills fascists. She doesn't know how to type. She's clearly a reporter. And the title of this apparently, Greg Rucka, okay, the title of this issue is Enemy of the People, because there's no escape. I mean, if you support Trump, if you believe that the camps at the border where they keep refugees, if you're under the opinion that it was worse under the previous administration, or that we actually need secure borders and need to control who comes in and out, or if you think that that it's not the fault of the president that parents and children are being separated, and hey, maybe, you know what separates parents and children? The parents breaking laws, Like, we send parents to prison all the time. That separates them from their kids. The parents come into the country illegally, guess what? There's a law that they can't be deported together. And the current president has tried to overthrow it. His opponents won't let him, so they have to be separated. And that's just the law, and that's unfortunately how it is. And then they blame the president when they don't let him do anything about it. But if you support Trump, if you don't think that everyone that you disagree with is a fascist, this book isn't for you. So, Greg Rucka, your name is familiar. I'm speaking as though I'm talking to Greg Rucka. Greg Rucka, if you do see my video, thank you very much for watching it. Don't take me too seriously or too personally, but seriously, I don't know who Greg Rucka is. I've heard his name before. It sounds familiar. I have no idea what he's written. That's on me. But as far as I'm concerned, he's on notice. When I see his name on something, I'm going to remember this stupid political preaching, no escapism, alternate reality. And this is the thing. All these supposedly poignant questions that Lois Lane is able to get off on the press secretary, this is what they wish reality was. This is what they wish, the kind of smoking gun they had on the current president, and they don't. They don't. All they have is endless accusations and fake alternate realities in comic books to reinforce their opinions. Look, you don't have to support the president. You don't have to like Trump. But there's no escapism where every comic book is about Trump, Russia, fascism. The journalists are always right, and they ask these poignant questions, and refugee camps on the border are evil. And this is not going to age well. And you're going to alienate the people who disagree with you. And even the people who agree with you, they don't want to be preached at in every comic. So I'm sorry, guy at my comic store who recommended this. No. 12-issue maxi series, as far as I'm concerned, it's a one-issue, one-off. I'm not the sort of guy who rips comics. If you are, then that's fine. I have no problem with that. If I were the type of person, I would be ripping this right now. I'm very tempted. But this is a piece of history. I respect it. I'm putting this in one of my short boxes. I'm going to pull it out later and laugh about it. And just the Trump derangement syndrome throughout. This could be a good story about a reporter uncovering something. Instead, it's about Trump living rent-free in apparently everyone's head who lives in entertainment. So this book does not get a recommend. Let's put this... And again, if you don't support Trump, you know, I'm not even saying I do. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. You can decide that for yourself. That's not what my YouTube channel is about currently. But just this thing where everything is about Trump. Everything is about, you know, just shut up, go away. And that's all I have to say. I've already pre-graded this book, so... This gets a red sticker, the second to worst grading I've come up with so far. Red is reserved for something that personally insults me. Goes out of its way, potentially, to personally insult me. And that's all we have. So what do you think? Did you read this issue? Did you like it? Did you, maybe you just watched my video and I just saved you from having to buy it. Then what do you think about the video? What do you think about the issue just based off of what I'm telling you here, what you've seen me flip through? Let me know in the comments section. If you did happen to like what you see here, I mean, more power to you. If this issue looked good to you, by all means, go pick it up in your local comic shop. If you don't know where your local comic shop is, you can do a search online. Really easy to find. If you don't have a local comic shop nearby, there are shops that will ship to you. And that way you can support someone's local comic shop, even if it's not local to you. And if you like reading digitally, there's always Amazon and Comixology, of course. Support what you like. That's the best way to guarantee it'll be there for you in the future. And is that all I'm supposed to say? Is that all I have to say here? This issue has me kind of ticked off, but I'm gonna read it again later and probably laugh about it. There are channels out there, YouTube channels that do roasts, and I would be really tempted. I'm actually curious to see what some of those people think about this issue. I'm not a roast channel. I don't have the money to spend on comics I don't like. Usually, if I do a review on something, it's at least because I thought I was going to like it when I bought it. I thought I was going to like this. I didn't. But that's just me. These are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comment section, and I will see you guys in a future video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.